Hello and welcome to my channel, and today it's about three harmful things that society teaches young boys. Stay tuned. Number one on my list is to live life as a formula. You are born, you go to school, you get a job, you marry, you raise your children, and then you die. So unoriginal. What happened to things like poetry and music and art? What if you are good at computers at a young age? You don't even need school to show your expertise. If you have a voice in your heart that is calling you to other things, by all means follow it. Of course you have to plan, but follow it at all costs, especially when you are young. You still have some time to bounce back even if you fail. I know of a man who is a group head of a telecommunications company. It has branches in Eastern, Southern, and Central Africa, and he has no degree. So there is no formula. Change careers if you want, marry when you want, die when you want. You can't die when you want, that's suicide. But you don't have to follow what other people are doing. Be unique, be different. Number two on my list, that romantic love is the most important thing and that you are nothing without it. That having a woman is a mark of your identity, and that if you lack a romantic partner, it's a poor reflection on your self-worth. Nah man, it's not. Let me tell you man, having girls is time consuming, it's expensive, it's emotionally taxing, and she's just a girl. It's not the end of the world. If you feel lonely, go to the gym, do some outdoor activities, find something to do outside of work or outside of your house. Look for new hobbies, or take some trip to some place where almost nobody knows. There are Kikambala caves that you can go to or some place in Mombasa or Diani. It doesn't matter. But above all else, there is no pressure. You don't have to roll with a lot of girls just so that you can be a man. If it happens for you, that's fine, but you don't have to. These pressures of men that you are defined by the number of chiles you have or chicks you have, let's cut it, man. Yeah, some of these pleasures are the ones that are making even people not leave their abusive partners, because you have been taught that without a romantic partner then you are nothing. Then when you get one, even though they abuse you or they have some form of disorders, you are unable to leave them. Well, she chose me. At least she chose me. Nobody else will want me. There's no pressure, man. Walk life at your own pace. I must, however, say that the confidence and the knowledge of how to speak to girls is important. Maybe that will be another video. Number three on my list, emotions. That boys should bottle up their emotion. They should not cry. They should show as little emotion as possible. You are a rock, you are a hard place. You do not budge, no matter what storm comes your way. I believe that to some extent, the kind of emotions that people show most of the time, they are very unuseful and they do not even serve you in any way. But I have three emotions that I think people need to know how to process, especially men, and one of them is anger, second grief, and third frustration. You need to be able to be angry and to either talk about it or to process it without having to bang things and beating mirrors all around and throwing things to people and throwing tantrums all over. You need to learn how to be angry without causing scenes. You need to learn how to take frustrations of life. Not everything will be as you want it to be. Not every job will work out. Not every relationship will work out. And not every business deal will go through. And even yourself, your own expectation of yourself, sometimes you will let yourself down. You must learn to process that frustration without allowing it to either depress you or make you lose hope. That grief. Of course, losing a person is a difficult thing, and it's something that most people overlook. But if you have lost somebody close to you, especially, or if you feel like you have lost your identity, or that you have lost your mother, your brother, your spouse, or your child, it's important that you allow some time for yourself to grieve. Sometimes when you hear people crying or never fully coming to terms with the loss of a person 10-15 years after the event happened, is because when that event happened, they did not give themselves time to grieve. And in those cases, even showing your tears, it is allowed and shouldn't matter. Of course, you should have a time and a place for it and a context for it. You do not just burst out anywhere or everywhere just because you can. The world does not stop just because something has happened in your life. But it is important that you give yourself time. A story is told of an ancient Greek priest who, when he was giving sacrifices, a report came that he had lost his son. He did not stop giving sacrifices. He continued with his rituals, did the traditional prayers, and at the end greeted everybody and went home. But on opening his door, he broke down, wept, cried, and screamed to the top of his lungs. That was his grieving. Of course, a time and a place he went to grieve at home. But you need to be able, just like him, to process grief in a way that serves you and does not really shame you. Those were 3 things that society is teaching young boys, and I think they are harmful. And if you like more videos like this, subscribe and click the notification button. See you in the next video.